Have you ever woken up with the weight of a name in your throat? With the sensation that someone is still sleeping beside you, even when that side of the bed has been empty for months? With that tightness in your chest that isn't physical pain, but is so real that you need to press your hand against your heart just to remember it's still beating? I know. I know you've been pretending to be okay. I know you smile during the day, answer messages, go to work, fulfill your obligations. But I also know there's a place inside you where the wounds still bleed in silence. A place where you keep the conversations you never finished, the kisses you still feel on your lips, the promises that turn to dust. And you're here because something in you is tired. Tired of carrying, tired of pretending, tired of waking up every day with the same story spinning in your head like a scratched record that won't stop playing. You're here because a part of you, maybe small, maybe almost inaudible, whispered, "There has to be another way to live." And there is. But before I show you that way, I need to tell you something that perhaps no one has had the courage to tell you. You're addicted to your own pain. Not because you like it, but because it has become familiar. Because letting go means entering the unknown. Because while you hold on to that hurt, that resentment, that longing that aches, you're still maintaining an invisible thread connecting you. And cutting that thread feels like death. But it isn't. It's birth. What I'm going to offer you this morning isn't a pretty meditation with gentle words that make you feel better for 10 minutes. It's not a spiritual band-aid. It's not a motivational phrase you'll forget before your coffee gets cold. What I'm going to offer you is an emotional scalpel. A way to open the wound you've been trying to hide, clean it completely, and let it finally heal for real. Do you know why you can't let go? It's not for lack of will. It's because you never learned how. Nobody taught you that there's a brutal difference between trying to forget and consciously releasing. Trying to forget is pushing things under the mental carpet. Releasing is looking at them, honoring them for what they taught you, and then, with full awareness, choosing to let them go. There's a type of pain you feel when something is being torn from you, and there's a type of profound relief you feel when you yourself release it. The difference between the two is everything. Pause for a moment. Place your hand on your chest. Feel your heart beating there beneath. That heart has carried so much, has held so much, and still it continues beating. It continues pumping life through you. It hasn't given up. And there's a profound wisdom in that, because your heart knows something your mind is still learning. You were made to flow, not to stagnate, to release, not to hold on, to love again, not to build museums of dead loves. This morning, before the world starts screaming for your attention, before the notifications start vibrating, before you put on the mask you wear for others, you're going to do something radical. You're going to stop. You're going to sit. You're going to breathe. And you're finally going to allow what needs to come out. But not just any way. Not crying in the shower, hoping the water will wash away what you feel. Not replaying the same conversations in your head until 3 a.m. You're going to do this in a sacred way, intentional, with your whole being present, aware that this is the moment when everything changes. Because something happens when you stop resisting your own pain, when you stop being afraid of it, when you look it in the eyes and say, "I see you, I feel you, and now I release you." In that moment, something breaks. Not violently, but like ice melting under the spring sun. And beneath all that ice, you discover there was always running water. Life, movement, possibility. So breathe with me now. Not an automatic breath, an intentional breath. Inhale through your nose, feeling the fresh air entering. Hold for 3 seconds, and exhale through your mouth, letting go of everything that no longer belongs to you. Do this 3 times, slowly, with full awareness that each exhalation is a release. As you breathe, I want you to begin repeating with me, out loud or in the silence of your heart. I choose to free myself from the past. Say it again, but this time feeling the weight of each word. I choose to free myself from the past. And one more time, as if it were the first truth you always knew. I choose to free myself from the past. Notice that I didn't say, "I'll try," or "I hope I can." I said, I choose. Because release isn't something that happens to you. It's something you do. It's a conscious decision. It's an act of personal power. And in this moment, you're reclaiming that power back. You've been living as if your heart were a museum of dead relationships, as if each wound were an exhibit piece you need to preserve forever. But my dear, your heart wasn't made to be a museum. It was made to be a garden. And gardens need the dead leaves of autumn to be swept away so the flowers of spring can be born. Think about that. A gardener doesn't keep holding the dry leaves from last year, doesn't store them in boxes labeled with dates and names, lets them fall, sweeps them away, transforms them into compost, and then, in that same soil where something died, something new begins to sprout, stronger, more beautiful, more resilient. You are that gardener, and your heart is that garden. And the time has come for you to stop preserving what has already died and start preparing the soil for what wants to be born. But I know what you're thinking. I know because I've been where you are. You're thinking, but what if I let go and nothing better comes? What if I open space and that space remains empty? What if this pain is all I have left of that person, that time, that love? Listen carefully. That's your mind deceiving you. That's the part of you that's so afraid of the unknown that it prefers the known pain. But there's a universal truth that operates regardless of what you believe. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you truly release something, with awareness and intention, the universe immediately begins to fill that space. Always, without exception. You're not losing anything by letting go of the past. You're gaining everything. You're gaining peace. You're gaining space. You're gaining your own life back. You're gaining the right to wake up without that weight, to look forward without that fog, to love again without those chains. And I want you to understand something fundamental about how energy works in this universe. Everything is vibration. Your thoughts create frequencies. Your feelings create energetic fields. And when you stay trapped in the past, when you relive the same painful memories every day, you're literally keeping that frequency active in your life. You're tuned to the channel of pain. And while you're tuned there, that's what you'll continue to attract. But the beautiful thing about frequencies is that you can change them. Now, in this exact moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Close your eyes for an instant and imagine that each painful memory, each conversation you replay, each what if you ruminate on, each regret you carry, imagine that each of these things is a rope tied to your body. See those ropes. Some are thick, some are thin. Some have been there so long you almost forgot you're carrying them. Now, with each breath, imagine you have scissors of light in your hands, and with each exhalation, you cut one of those ropes. Slowly, one by one. You don't need to do them all at once, but you begin. You make a conscious choice to cut the first thread, and then the second, and then the third. And each time you cut, you say, I am free to create something new. Feel the relief. Feel how your body becomes lighter, how your shoulders relax, how your breathing deepens. This isn't imagination. This is real. This is your nervous system responding to your decision to free yourself. This is your body saying, finally, you're letting me rest. I am worthy of peace and true love. Repeat this until you feel it. Not just say it, feel it. Because truth isn't in the words. Truth is in the sensation they create inside you. And when you feel that truth, when you truly allow it to penetrate every cell of your body, you begin to transform from the inside out. Now, I want to talk about something that may seem strange at first, but is absolutely essential for your healing. You need to thank the pain. I know how that might sound, but listen to me. You're not thanking the person who hurt you. You're not saying everything was okay. You're thanking because that pain brought you here, to this moment, to this awareness, to this decision to change. Every person who entered your life had something to teach you. Some taught you about love. Others taught you about boundaries. Some showed you what you want. Others showed you what you no longer accept. And all of them helped you become who you are now. So place your hand on your heart again and say, I'm grateful for everything I lived. I'm grateful for the lessons, even the painful ones. And now I choose to move forward, taking the wisdom but leaving the weight. This isn't about forgiving those who don't deserve forgiveness. This isn't about forgetting what shouldn't be forgotten. This is about you freeing yourself from emotional prison, about you deciding that your peace is more important than your reason, that your freedom is more important than your victim story. And I need to tell you something about real forgiveness, the forgiveness that heals. It's not a gift you give to the other person. It's a gift you give yourself. When you forgive, you're not saying everything's okay. You're saying, I'm not going to carry this anymore. There's a huge difference between justifying and releasing. Justifying is saying what happened was right. Releasing is saying you're no longer going to let that define your present. And my dear, you deserve that release. You deserve to wake up light. You deserve to sleep in peace. You deserve to love again without fear. I release what no longer serves my growth. Say this like a decree, like a universal law you're putting into action, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're declaring to the entire universe that you're ready for a new reality. And do you know what happens when you do this for real? When you release with conscious intention? The universe begins to conspire in your favor. Opportunities that were blocked start to appear. People who resonate with your new frequency start to enter your life. Situations that seemed impossible start to resolve, not by magic, but because you changed. And when you change, everything around you changes too. But let me be honest with you about one thing. Letting go isn't a single event. It's not like pressing a button and done. It's over. Letting go is a practice. It's a choice you're going to make again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Because the human mind is stubborn. It likes familiar patterns. It will try to pull you back to that comfortable pain. And when that happens, not if, but when, you're not going to judge yourself. You're not going to criticize yourself. You'll simply notice, you'll breathe, and you'll choose again. I choose to free myself from the past, and you'll continue choosing until that choice becomes automatic, until your new pattern is freedom, not prison. You know what else is beautiful about this process? Each time you choose to release, you're creating a new neural pathway in your brain. You're literally rewiring the way you process emotions and memories, and each time you walk that new path, it becomes stronger, easier, more natural. So this morning meditation isn't just for today. It's a tool you can use every day. You can wake up before looking at your phone, before thinking about what you need to do, and simply breathe. Place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what do I need to release today? Sometimes it'll be the same thing as yesterday. Sometimes it'll be something new. Sometimes it'll just be a passing thought. But the act of asking, of being conscious, of making this release a daily practice, that changes everything. And I want to give you something practical to do in the coming days. When you wake up in the morning, take a notebook and write 3 things you're releasing today. They can be thoughts, they can be worries, they can be memories, and beside each one, write something you're choosing instead of that. For example, I'm releasing the need to understand why it happened. I'm choosing to trust that I already have all the answers I need within me. I'm releasing the fantasy of how things could have been. I'm choosing gratitude for what is and excitement for what's coming. I'm releasing the belief that I'm not enough. I'm choosing to know that I'm whole, complete, and worthy exactly as I am. This simple exercise does something powerful. It takes release from the abstract field and places it in the concrete field. It gives you something to do with your hands. It creates physical evidence of your transformation. And when you look back in a month, in 3 months, and see all those filled pages, you'll understand how much you've already released, how much you've already changed. I am creating space for daily miracles, because that's what you're doing. Each thing you release creates space, and the universe loves to fill empty spaces. But it can only do that if you do your part, if you clean, if you release, if you open your hands and allow the old to leave. Now let me talk about something that might be scaring you. The fear of forgetting completely. The fear that by releasing the pain, you'll also release the good memories. The fear of somehow betraying what was important to you. Listen, releasing the pain doesn't mean erasing the memory. It means changing your relationship with it. You can remember something that was beautiful without feeling that agony in your chest. You can honor what was important without carrying the weight of what ended. You can be grateful for the time shared without living trapped in that time. The difference is subtle but profound. It's the difference between a photograph stored in a box in the closet and a photograph you carry in your pocket all day, taking it out and looking at it every 5 minutes, constantly reopening the wound. You can keep the photo, but you don't need to carry it. And there's something else I want you to know. You're not doing this alone. Even though it might seem that way, even though you're sitting there, reading this, in this room, in this moment, alone, you're not. There's a force greater than you, greater than me, greater than all of us, that's supporting your healing. Call it whatever you want. Universe, God, energy, life, universal love. The name doesn't matter. What matters is that you're not navigating these waters without a compass. There's a profound intelligence operating through you. It's guiding you toward the right people, the right situations, the right moments. It brought you here, to these words, to this decision, and it will continue guiding you as you walk toward your healing. I trust the process of life. Breathe deeply and allow these words to penetrate. Trusting doesn't mean knowing how everything will happen. It means knowing that it will happen. It means releasing the need to control every step and allowing life to show you the way. Have you noticed how the best things in your life didn't come from forcing? They came when you were open, when you were present, when you allowed, and your healing will be like that too. You do your part, you choose to release, you breathe, you practice, you commit, and then you allow the process to unfold. Because there's a natural rhythm in healing. Just as there's a natural rhythm in the seasons. You can't force a flower to bloom faster. You can't skip winter and go straight to spring. But you can trust that if you keep watering, if you keep caring, if you keep creating the right conditions, spring will come. And when it comes, it will be even more beautiful than you imagined. So, be gentle with yourself in this process. Some days you'll wake up and feel you've released everything. Other days you'll wake up and feel you're back at square one. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. It means healing isn't linear. And it means you need to continue with patience and compassion, one day at a time. And on the difficult days, when it seems nothing is changing, when the pain returns with force, when you question whether it's worth continuing to try, I want you to remember this truth. The fact that you feel the pain means you're still alive. It means your heart is still open. It means you still have the capacity to feel, to care, to love. And that, my dear, is a gift, even when it doesn't seem like it, because the alternative would be to close completely, would be to build walls so high that nothing enters, not the pain, but not the love either. And you don't want that. You want to remain open. You want to remain alive. You want to continue feeling. The difference is that now you're learning to feel without drowning, to honor the emotion without becoming it, to ride the wave without letting it break you. I honor my emotions and choose not to be defined by them. This is one of the most powerful affirmations you can make, because it acknowledges reality. You feel, you're human, you have intense emotions, but it also acknowledges your power. You're not just those emotions, you're much greater than them. Think of your emotions as weather. Some days the sky is blue and sunny. Other days it's cloudy. Other days it rains. And yes, sometimes storms come. But the sky, the great blue sky that's always there behind the clouds, that never changes. That's you, your essence. The part of you that observes emotions but isn't swallowed by them. And the more you practice returning to that essence, to that calm observer inside you, the easier it becomes to traverse any emotional storm. You learn that you can feel anger without becoming an angry person, can feel sadness without becoming a sad person, can feel longing without becoming its prisoner. Now I want you to visualize something with me. Close your eyes if you can, and imagine you're standing on a beach. It's early morning. The sun is rising on the horizon, painting the sky gold, pink, and orange. The sand is cool beneath your feet, and you're there, alone, facing the immense ocean. In your hands, you have a box, and inside that box are all the things you've been carrying, all the pains, all the grudges, all the unresolved conversations, all the frustrated expectations, all the versions of you that no longer exist. Everything is there, in that box, and you look at it. You hold it for a moment, you honor the weight it has, you thank it for everything it taught you, and then, with all the awareness in the world, you walk toward the ocean. The waves touch your feet. The water is cool, clean, renewing, and you kneel, and you open the box, and you let the ocean take everything away, slowly, piece by piece, wave after wave, until the box is empty, and your hands are free, and then you stand, and you notice how you're lighter, how you can breathe more deeply, how there's more space inside you. And you look toward the horizon, toward that rising sun, and you feel that this is the first day of your new life. Open your eyes slowly. That visualization isn't just a pretty exercise, it's a profound reprogramming of your subconscious. When you truly allow yourself to feel that release, when you live it with all your senses, visual, tactile, emotional, you're creating a new memory. A memory of releasing, of freeing yourself, of being reborn. And your brain doesn't know how to differentiate between a real experience and a vividly imagined experience. So this visualization, done with intention and presence, has the same power as a physical release. You can return to it whenever you need, whenever you feel you're holding on to something again, whenever you need to remember you have the power to let go. Gratitude is your final key in this process. Not forced gratitude, not toxic positivity, but genuine gratitude for the small things that are already working in your life now, for the fact that you're alive, for the fact that you're willing to change, for the fact that you made it here. When you begin your day with gratitude, before even thinking about what you need to do, what went wrong yesterday, what you're worried will go wrong today, when you begin with, "I'm grateful for," you're changing your frequency immediately. You're tuning to the channel of abundance instead of the channel of scarcity. And the universe responds to that, always, without exception. So this is your complete practice for the coming mornings. Wake up. Before picking up your phone, place your hand on your heart. Breathe 3 times consciously. Say the affirmations that resonate with you. Write 3 things you're releasing and 3 things you're choosing. List 3 things you're grateful for. And then, only then, begin your day. This takes 10 minutes, maybe 15 if you want to go deeper. But those 10 minutes will change everything. Because you're establishing intention. You're creating the tone. You're reminding yourself who you are and where you're going. And when challenges come, and they will come, because life continues even when we're in the process of healing, you'll have that foundation, that center, that place to return to. What you're going to experience today isn't about being better. It's about being more real, more whole, more you. Because the truth is, you don't need healing to go back to who you were before the pain. You need healing to become who you were always destined to be. Someone who knows pain intimately and still chooses love. Someone who was broken and, in rebuilding, let the light in through the cracks. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be whole. And whole doesn't mean without scars. It means integrated. It means that all the parts of you, the parts that hurt, the parts that healed, the parts that are still healing, all of them are welcome. All of them have a place. All of them make you who you are. And who you are, my dear, is absolutely extraordinary. You're someone who had the courage to feel deeply. You're someone who had the courage to love, even knowing it could hurt. You're someone who's having the courage to heal, even when it's easier to remain in familiar pain. You're someone who's choosing life again and again and again. That's not weakness. That's the purest strength that exists. So as you move forward from here, carry this with you. You're stronger than you know. You're more resilient than you imagine. You're more worthy than you were taught to believe, and you have everything you need within you now to create the life you desire. The past happened. You can't change that, but you can change the power it has over you. You can change the story you tell about it. You can change the meaning you give it. And when you change that, you change everything. This meditation is that light, and you are the one who lights it. Breathe, release, trust. The universe is supporting you. Life is guiding you. And love, real love, the love you deserve, the love that's coming, is finding its way to you. All you need to do is continue releasing what no longer serves. Continue opening space. Continue trusting. And one day, sooner than you imagine, you'll wake up and notice that weight is no longer there. That you slept through the night without dreaming of the past. That you looked in the mirror and saw someone you like. That you're ready to begin again, not because you forgot what you lived, but because you learned from what you lived. And that day, you'll understand that it was all worth it. Every tear, every difficult night, every moment you wanted to give up but didn't. Everything brought you here. And here is exactly where you need to be. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Welcome to your freedom. Welcome back to yourself.